Welcome everyone, good morning. My name is Isabel Ender. I'm here with my colleague Callum Teale-Brown and Jason Williams, who's just coming up now. And we're very excited to tell you about the Reef Joint Field Management Program, an end user of social science. We acknowledge and pay respect to the traditional owners here today, the traditional owners that we work with across the reef, and the Komba clan of the Ugambe Nation, which is the land on which we gather today. So the Reef Joint Field Management Program is a joint program between the Queensland and Australian government, led by Queensland Parks and Wildlife Service and the Reef Authority, to protect and manage the Great Barrier Reef World Heritage Area. It's existed for 45 years, and after a recent major expansion, we now invest about $40 million annually into it. We've had some connection to the social science work, but could probably benefit more, not just from its output, but from more closely partnering at all stages of the planning, as we heard from the first talk today. We will give you in this presentation a quick overview of our work, point to some questions that we have, and see if some of you might have some answers. Now this map shows our office operational bases up and down the coast as little dots along the coast, as well as the vessel activity, and this is just from the last year. So what really stands out is that we operate across the length and the breadth of the marine park and protected areas. The diagram on the right shows just how diverse our work is. We are the rangers, the compliance officers, and the vessels that are out in the marine park, and we operate at sea, on land, and in the air. Our staff deal directly and indirectly with many of the marine park user groups, and we implement the majority of the government's on-ground work. Now, the program has 5 priorities, as well as an overarching priority to work with traditional owners. So the first one, conservation action, is to protect and recover important natural and heritage values. So for instance, that means installing and maintaining mooring infrastructure to protect the reef. We check for change and for conditions of key values on the reef and islands, and we respond to incidents such as vessel groundings. Through welcoming people, we provide infrastructure and foster responsible behavior and improve the understanding of values and threats to the reef in the community. And finally, we are the principal driver and coordinator for environmental compliance in the World Heritage Area. So all these priorities feed into the 9 intergovernmental agreements and further into the Reef 2050 vision. So that's how it all goes together. And now for the remainder of this talk, we're going to talk about 2 of the priorities in more detail. And that's where I'll hand over to my colleagues.
Great. Thank you, Isabel. Hello, everyone. My name's Callum Teale-Brown. I'm the Senior Ranger for Compliance of the Northern Great Barrier Reef. I work for QPWS on behalf of the program. As Isabel said, we deliver in-field compliance and using a whole range of assets, so aerial, land-based, and of course vessels on the water. Last year we conducted over 1,100 compliance patrols of the World Heritage Area and engaged face-to-face, thanks Iz, with over 3,500 people, predominantly recreational fishers or other recreational users of the park. These in-field interactions are collated, collected and analysed, and it affords us the opportunity to better understand the motivations, the drivers and the perspectives of park users. In turn, we then refine our comms, our education and our enforcement efforts to address shifting needs, shifting threats and of course societal expectations. Now, social science plays a key role in the program's outputs. So, my program colleague from the Reef Authority, Catherine Maltson, she's highly involved in this area of work. She'll be speaking later about a number of social science projects and collaborations undertaken by the program and what we've come to understand about the motivations behind non-compliance in the World Heritage Area at large. Affecting behavioural change towards voluntary compliance is at the very core of our compliance program. So Catherine's on at about 4 o'clock, I believe, virtually in here. Social science, it's given us key insights into park user behaviour and it's allowed us to better address potential non-compliance across the World Heritage Area. We're able to identify and refine our risk drivers, suitable responses to threats, preemptive comms campaigns, on-point messaging and relatable calls to action, which are all part of our program. Key questions we're consistently looking to answer and contemporise What are the key demographics engaging in unlawful behaviour? How do we best target these groups through both education and enforcement action? How do park users view the reef, its health, its management, and their role in custodianship and conservation of its values? And what other trends could be identified and leveraged to everyone's advantage? So we do have the answers to some of these questions, but we're always looking to further our understanding. We'll be around for the remainder of the symposium, so please stop by for a chat at any time. We might have the answers to some of your questions and you might have the answers to some of ours. And as Iz says, we are end users of social science, but we may also be positioned as a contributor to the work of others. So I'll hand over now to Indigenous Partnerships Coordinator Jason Williams.
Thanks, Cal. Morning, everyone. My name's Jason Williams. I'm the Indigenous Partnerships Coordinator. I work for QPWS. I'm Walgarukaba, Bindal, Juru and Waka Waka. So I'm a traditional owner of the Great Barrier Reef. So my country on the reef is from Townsville down to Bowen. Yeah, up on the slide here you can see some of the stats of the achievements published in the program's 2022 to 23 annual report. I won't go through and read all those though. First Nations people are not stakeholders, they are key partners and involved in all the program's priorities and day-to-day business. There's about 70 First Nations groups across the GBR, and we're working with about 40 groups so far through. We've got some sort of agreement happening there, so actually in discussions there's probably more than that. The program is invested in supporting our partners and providing training and opportunities such as scuba dive training, wildlife and reef monitoring, vessel qualifications, leadership training, fee-for-service activities and a range of projects which enable people to connect and care for country and culture. Not only are we investing in building capacity of traditional owner groups, we're building our own cultural capability by learning from traditional owners. In recent years, we've had numerous external Indigenous rangers embedded within QPWS, through work placements and embedded ranger programs. A couple of those, so you met Harry just earlier. The current one we've got is a young Wapabara fellow working out of our office in Roslyn Bay there. We've produced a number of cultural awareness videos for program staff to learn about whose country we work on and the people and culture connected to it. Thanks, Iz. The program's actively seeking to strengthen partnerships with traditional owners. This comes with a range of legal and ethical considerations and responsibilities to manage, including joint management arrangements, native title, cultural heritage, ILUAs, TUMRAs, IPAs. There's a heap of other agreements, and also respecting and supporting traditional owners' connection to country and their cultural obligations, interests and identity. So every group is different. Many people have different perceptions of what our ethical responsibilities are or should be. That depends who you talk to as well. Every traditional owner group and partnership is not the same. Social science plays a big role in the way we approach groups, conduct business together, show respect and navigate through or be mindful of issues. So we've been deep in the realm of social science but haven't really identified it as that before. We're interested in discussing with people throughout the week some of these questions which are on this slide and Callum's previous one there. What role social science plays working with traditional owners across our priorities and areas of work, how we can work better together and what others are doing that we aren't and maybe should be doing. So we're always looking for continuous change and improvement and be world leaders in the way we work with traditional owners and welcome people, uphold compliance, check for change, respond to incidents and deliver conservation actions. So, like I said, we're around for the next few days and keen to chat further. Thank you very much.